aimed at me, not you. Is that better? We live? Anybody here? If you are here, can you hear me better? What are you watching? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I would say so, seeing that I can hear me. Can you hear me now? I would say so, seeing that I can hear me. Can you hear me now? Got a big echo going on. All right, 5 back and watching. I would say so.
I was just double testing.
Good. It worked. Okay, so I got some new headphone Bluetooth thing. Thank you. Loves to play poker. Appreciate it. Okay, so as I was trying to say when you couldn't hear me on the last live, this is the Rogue Bakers Roundtable live call. Point of these calls is weekly we get on here and help you with any questions you have in your sourdough journey, primarily based on our 10-minute sourdough made easy recipe that most of you have found us through that. We got one video that's kind of gone, not viral, but the algorithm has picked it up well. We got about 40,000 views on it. And so we are here to show you a quick scoring tutorial. My wife is going to score 3 loaves of bread that we've had proofing now for a little over an hour, not quite an hour and a half, and give you some tips on how to score the bread, as we had that question asked a few times in our, or requested a few times in our Facebook group. So you asked for it, you get it. We're going to show you how to do that. And then we're going to do a Q&A for any questions you might have. We're here to help you. And then we will call it a day. So with that, I'm going to take over, baby. Give Brooke my headset so that she can hear better, or that you guys can hear better, rather. And then I'm going to... Can you take baby to Rin?
Rin's going to be leading to an activity here shortly. But for a bit. Or she might be start.
Hey, just give me the baby. It's fine. I'll figure out how to hold the camera and the baby. So this is our 36% whole wheat loaf recipe. We released a video just a couple of days ago showing this recipe where my 7-year-old daughter actually baked the whole thing from start to finish. I just stood here and gave her instructions. That was an awesome video. High five, sweetheart. Huh? If you want to come over here, you can. But this is that same recipe. That's the dough that we'll be scoring tonight. And Brooke's going to show you some pointers. She is not, you know, if you look up scoring tutorials or scoring things on Facebook, there's some pretty outrageous things that people do while they're scoring. This is a sourdough made easy version of the score. So a way to make some pretty loaves, some simple scores that can make the bread look prettier, how to manage the belly or the blowout, the expansion of the bread, etc. And so we are by no means, you know, super fancy score people, but we can make bread look pretty.
Baby, you can tell them that I'm gonna make a s'mores loaf, baby.
Yep, she's gonna make a s'mores loaf in the future.
Yeah.
Get his butt. Okay.
What are you doing now?
I'm going to do the scoring.
Need some dough.
Yes. I'm not sure if there's enough in there. There might be.
Any pretty soft?
Hey. We're on a video live. You can't do that right now, okay? Just go play outside with Lily, please. And stay with her, okay? And you guys stay right there in the backyard, please.
gluten-free flour?
We use gluten-free flour, mostly because we are gluten intolerant in our house, and so rather than adding more gluten that we have to try and process and digest.
So it's not a gluten-free flour bread.
Right.
It's gluten-free flour when you're forming and scoring.
Yeah, it's gluten-free flour when we're forming and scoring. So the flour I'll dust over top here is going to be gluten-free. But we don't do the whole thing with gluten-free. We could try that. You know how everything we do with our gluten-free flour turns out like more fluffy and better. So our bread might be even better if we tried that. Although that would be more expensive.
Yeah, it'd be crazy expensive.
And the way that the sourdough works for us is great. So I'll show you tools. Got my bread lame. Oops. My bread lame.
Tools in our kitchen.
Yeah. Got my bread lame. I like this UFO kind. I did see another kind recently that's similarly as far as how you'd hold it, but it's a little bit longer and it's like a rectangle instead of this circle. Oh, that would be nice too. This does not. This you have to actually like unscrew to get it to go in and hide it, which I'm too lazy to do, so I keep it in my nice little container instead. But anyways, I like this better than the typical long bread lames you see. It's in the back because I never use it. This. Because this is not like a pencil. I like this because it's more like a pencil. It's controllable by your hand like that and whatnot. So I don't use the one that most people use or see or whatever, because I do like to have a bit more control, and I do like to get fancy, but I don't do very fancy. Every once in a while I'll do something super fun. But anyways, and then this is what I use. I used to use my big one. What is this called?
A sifter?
Yeah. Anyway, I used to use my big one, but this one's just easier.
A little bit. We don't always put flour on top, but no. When we're doing something fancy, if we're selling bread, if we're
giving it away
as a gift, if we're taking it to a party and we want it to look pretty, then we often will dust the top with flour.
And what that does is it makes your pattern or
your score pattern will stand out a lot.
Yeah, because you'll see.
So this is one of the things we do is dust the top of the bread with
so I just
a nice dusting of gluten-free flour, and it creates like a white canvas.
I just grab a little pinch handful. It's not a pinch, but it's not a handful. So, and then I just go like this. I just gently tap it against my hand to get it to come out. There are other tools like the that are similar to this that do it also, but this is what we have and this is what we use. And that's it. Some people go like this and move it around and smooth it out, which I'll go ahead and do so you can see, I guess, the difference. But then it just kind of makes the flour kind of clump up too. So that's why I typically don't do that. But it does make a more uniform sort of look to your flour. So you can do that if you like. Come on. It's kind of caked on there, so it doesn't want to do it very well. Yeah, that works too. So I'll just leave this one like this, and I'll do the other one like that as well. And that's it for that. And then I come in and do the score. So first what I'll do is just a simple wheat score. You can do it in numerous ways, and I guess I can show a couple of those because that's the one I do typically the most. And I'm just holding my lame like this. Lily, don't touch, please, okay? So the first thing I do for this one is just a simple, I'm just barely, and I have it hold it. So I don't know if you saw in one of my daughter's videos, she was holding it straight up and down. But what you want to do is you have it at an angle like this so that just a nice, simple, can you see that very well? It just kind of cuts right in there. It's really easy. So you make your top score like that. And then I'm just basically following this line all the way down. Matter of fact, I'll show you a tool that you can do as well. Yeah.
Do the string one and do a Christmas loaf.
Okay. So something you can do is you can use this as like your guide. Just draw a line and that can be your guide. And then all I'm going to do is come along the sides of that line.
So one thing I learned when took me a minute, I actually tried to cut that line because I didn't understand you were just doing a guide. And so first time I did a wheat score, I did it wrong. And so there was a cut there. So that's not a cut down that center line.
Correct. It's just a guide.
A guide, and then you cut along the sides. So each little kernel of wheat is being cut, not the line itself. Yeah,
not the stalk or whatever. And the next thing I'll tell you is that I'm not going deep. I'm going very shallow with these cuts right here. You can probably see better on this side a little bit. I'm very gentle, light pressure, and it's getting my nice cut there. And that's it. Anything else I should mention on that part, you think? So that's just a wheat score. And again, that center line is simply a guide. I did not make a cut or anything. I just lightly used the toothpick to simply draw through the flour. I did not make a hole. The next thing I'll do is I will make my expansion score.
Now explain, like you did on Addie's video, why you do the pretty score first.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the reason I do the pretty score first and not the expansion score is because this is leaving me, if I do the expansion score first, it's expanding. It's going to expand right away. Not very much, but it's going to expand. Is she touching the cord?
Taking away the tightness.
It's taking away the tightness of my canvas, if you will. Right now, I've got a nice tight canvas that I created when I formed the loaf. You're touching the light, sweetie. Don't touch the light down there, okay? Thank you. So I'd like to do my decorative score first, and then I come through and do my expansion score. And you'll see here now, again, same thing, keeping it at an angle, not straight up and down. And this one, I'm kind of doing a sawing motion because this one I do want to be nice and deep. And you'll see that it's already opening up. And I'm going to go through and do that again and just kind of go like that. And you can see now it's opening up even more. The reason I do this one nice and deep because it's the expansion score, and that's what I want to expand, not my pretty design. That's why this is nice and deep. And then I like to just throw a couple of fun lines over on the side just because it's fun. I don't think we ever even see those, but
so oftentimes you'll do another expansion score on the other side,
right,
to try and protect the
design here.
Yep.
I can go ahead and do that here, and it's just the same thing. I like to kind of keep my design in the center, if you will, a little bit of my scores, my expansion scores. And again, I'm just sawing through here and then coming back through and making it deeper again a couple more times. And I might just make this one a little bit longer and deeper here, I'm seeing. And that's it. That is,
so that will result in a very pretty wheat score in the middle and a couple of bellies on either side.
Yep. Oh, yeah. This is where your ears will come in from your expansion scores as well. So next I'll do, if it's okay with you, I'll just do, I'll put this back here. I'm going to do 2 wheat, what do you call them? 2 wheat scores. Stalks, yeah. And I'll show, I don't usually use the guide myself because I do it so much I don't need it anymore, but I'll show you this way, okay? So what I'll do is and I'm going to I keep my design mostly towards the middle, but a little bit on the side so that I have plenty of room for that big expansion score on the side. So
Deb just asked what's the name of the tool. Show the tool again and explain it again.
So this is the bread lame.
It's called a UFO lame.
Yep, on Amazon it's called the UFO lame. What, you're leaving? Okay, love you.
Bye.
Did you get the clear phone? All right, cool. This is a bread lame. On Amazon, you'll find it if you search for UFO lame. We also have products linked on our website and, well, no, just the website for now. Do you have this on there already?
They only see it if they buy.
Oh, we should put a,
Yeah, we can put a tools in our kitchen thing.
yeah.
Can I come again?
No, she's already gone and she's going to a young women's activity. And you're just a girl. You can't go yet. So, I'm sorry. You can go outside with Addie, though. Isn't she outside? Okay, put your boots on. Go outside. You're turning the light off again, please, sweetie. Leave it alone, okay? Not right now. Lily, I'm doing a video and I'm live. Can you stop for a second? Can you go outside? No?
Lily, go play.
What if I give you a cookie to share with Addie? Will you go? Will you go outside?
Tracy, it is a razor blade inside of the little thing to hold it.
Yes.
So it is just a razor blade. You could just use a regular razor blade to do it.
I would cut myself.
Yeah.
Nope, you can share that with Addie.
Share that with Sissy.
Okay?
Go outside and share that with Sissy.
Come here. I'm going to give you each a half. That way there's no argument. Okay? There's one. Hold it in one hand. And this one in the other hand. You got the cookie? Hold the cookie. Now go knock on the door and tell Addie to come help you. Okay. So this time I'm going to do a 2 wheat score. Wheat stock, however you want to say it. And I'm going to kind of bend it this time to give room for both of them. And that's just how I do it. So we got a big one here and a littler one here. And then it's just the same.
No, I did not outside.
Well, go find her. Go find her.
And stay with it.
Okay, go find her. Okay. You probably should come back out to the table and eat those. So why don't you put them on the table and then go find Addie. Go. Same process. I'm going to start at the top with the, oh, it's a little bit stiffer this time. A stiffer, more dry top is actually nicer for scoring, by the way. And then I'm just going to do the same, follow my guideline and just make the scores along the side. I'm going to do the same thing along this one. And make this one a little bit smaller scores on this side because it's a smaller stock. And this one will stop short a little bit because I don't want to run into these ones. And that's it. You see how that works? Okay. And now I'll do my nice expansion score over here on the side, sawing, and do that one more time, 2 more times. And I think we'll leave that one as it is, not do the extra side score, just so you guys can, well, are they going to, yeah, let's see the finished product eventually, at least. Are we going to
post it in our Facebook page?
Yeah, we can show you the end results after that. Now, this one, Kimball wanted me to do the Christmas tree score, which we've done.
I know it's not Christmas time, but this is a really cool score pattern. And so I wanted to show you this and you can see.
So I just use thread for this. It's regular old thread from, you know, my sewing machine box. Whoop. You guys need to go to that table, please. And it's probably maybe about a foot that I do here. And then as if I was going to floss my teeth, I wrap it around my fingers a couple times. And to do this, he's juggling baby, sorry. No, you need to scoot, please. No, go sit with your sister and help with your sister, please. And I'm just going to push down gently. I'm not putting pressure. You can see the dough is not moving, and I'm just going to move it back and forth a couple times. Now I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to make a straight X and do the same thing. And then I do the same thing again and just divide it like a pizza slice, right? On all the sides. And now I've got this star-looking thing. What?
I want milk.
Okay. Go find Tommy to help you get milk, please. Go put the cookies down at the table. I don't want you walking around with them. Okay, now, oh, I need my scissors, don't I? Okay. It's been a while. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start making scores. These are all going to be expansion scores this time. I'm not going to make them super deep, not like I did this last one, but they'll be expansion scores a little bit deeper than the other regular ones. So I'm going to follow along this line, doing my sawing a little bit. And then for the rest of them, I'm not going to keep going straight across, because if I did, when I pull on this one, you'll see it's going to pull that skin back, and I don't like that. So the rest of them, I just go to the middle and then keep turning it. And I do it, the crosses first, and then I'll do the side ones to the middle.
We're on video.
You guys need to scoot, please. We're on a live video. And then I'm just going to make sure my middle here is deep scored enough so that it will get a nice, fix that one, so that it will do its job while gently trying to preserve, because these are all Christmas trees. That's what these are, is Christmas trees, and you'll see them come to fruition here in a second. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, you guys are going to take this milk into the other room and share, okay? Take your cookies, go to the other room, especially since the computer's here. Addie, get down. Get down first, and then pick up the milk. And be careful and take it to the other room, please. Take it to the dining room table and stay there with it, okay? Okay, now I have my kitchen scissors, and I'm just going to snip along here to give it the Christmas tree look, the pine tree look. I'm just literally going to, and I'm not like super particular about how it's done, and that's it. And then just because I don't want to be like switching and moving a whole lot, I just go along the same edges on all the way around, and then I'll switch to the other side. I'm all about efficiency. So I'm just making cuts, and you can see that's kind of making it look like a tree now rather than just a triangle.
And each of those cuts will expand out when it cooks and make it look like, what is that, 8 Christmas trees around the outside of a loaf. And because we put the flour on it, they're going to look like flocked, frosted Christmas trees.
Yeah, that's fun. There are things you can do also. Like, for example, for Valentine's Day, you could put, we have freeze-dried strawberries that we've put in our loaves before that you could dust the top with and give it a pink look. I'm not sure what you could do with to make it green, but like maybe what, freeze-dried spirulina powder or something.
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so now I'm come back to the first one, and so now I'm just going to come to the other side and do the other side, and you can see now it's looking more like a tree. And clearly I'm not trying to be super symmetrical or anything like that. The biggest thing about doing this Christmas tree score pattern is I could have done a better job at getting it more centered, but I can fix that by just moving my parchment paper. See how it kind of made it a little bit better? But the biggest thing is to make sure you've got even expansion scores so that you don't have trees kind of go open, like lopsided, if you will. And I'll take another look at that when I'm done doing this to see if I need to fix any of that. Is everybody still hearing this okay?
I assume so.
Okay. That is it. This is what Addie was talking about. They've come in and they make little dots to make ornaments.
She'll do ornaments in there. If you poke little holes, they can look like ornaments on the tree.
And I am going to come in here and just I'm just lightly giving a little bit more of a score here in between. I should have done, you want to do better at this initially, because otherwise you might mess up your trees, see? But there's always a way to fix it, right? I'm going to pull this apart a little bit. That one looks pretty good, but I think we're doing good now. Okay. Christmas trees. Or trees, you know, you have a tree theme, something or other you want to do it for, whatever trees you want to call it. Oh, these ones got kind of messed up, probably because of my coming back and rescoring. They'd probably come out just fine in the baking anyways. But there you have it. I'll go ahead and show them how they do ornaments too. So with ornaments, you'd literally just, as you're turning this in my fingers, I push down at the same time as I'm turning and pull out as I'm turning. Gives you a nice round hole. And then same thing. And that's how our girls like to do ornaments. You can also do dots along any other loaf for that matter, as just an extra design. Do along your score here. Just gives it some more character. There you go. Anyone have, no, let me help you set that back up. Oh, real life. No more cookies. No more cookies. Addie, get down, please. Mom! I want you to get down so that you can take this. I don't want you to do it while you're up there. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, look here.
Welcome, Bridget. Glad you made it. So that wraps up the scoring tutorial. We need to throw these in the oven now. As always, cold Dutch ovens. You want to put them in there now, or
sure?
Might as well. We'll post some pictures of the finished loaves on our.
Oh, hang on.
Oh yeah. We're going to post some pictures of these in our Facebook group. Wendy, you can rewind and watch this. We did 3 different score patterns. We did a multi-wheat score. We did a Christmas tree score and a single wheat score that's already in the Dutch oven. But we'll post the pictures on the website, and this live will stay on our YouTube. You can rewind and watch that. So now we're gonna.
If you're anything like me, you can sit there and pause as you do and watch each step. That's what I do.
Yeah. So we're gonna now open it up. If anybody's got any questions, just general questions or questions about scoring, before we wrap up the Baker Roundtable call. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments or whatever you call it, chat. Yeah, I think these are going to turn into really pretty loaves. I agree, Tracy. I love taking that Christmas tree loaf to Christmas parties. It's always a crowd wower, crowd pleaser. Here. Okay, walk in there carefully. Any questions at all? If you do have any questions in the future, feel free to comment on this video and we'll come back and answer those comments. You're welcome, Bridget. I'm new to sourdough. Do you refrigerate your starter or keep it at room temperature? We always refrigerate our starter. We use them cold, hungry, straight from the fridge. If you watch our main our most viewed video is our 10-minute sourdough made easy method video. You'll see that whole process. But yeah, we feed them. The only time we leave them on the counter is about 8 to 12 hours after we feed them. We let them sit on the counter and eat. Is that right? And then we pour him up and put him back in the refrigerator. And then we take him out and use him straight from the fridge. Literally, I take it out of the fridge and dump it into the bowl and mix it up. So that is how we do our starter. You're welcome, Bridget. I'm glad you're enjoying our videos. You're welcome. Any other questions? And we only feed the starter, Diane, when we run out. So we keep the starter in the fridge, even if it's been, we bake so much bread in our house that it's usually a week to a week and a half between feedings.
Oh, that's nice, sweetie.
And so we only feed him when I can tell. I say I because I'm usually the one making the dough at night. She does all the pretty stuff the next day. But when I can tell after making a batch of bread, we usually make 3 loaves at a time. Would you like the baby?
My Bubba.
We make 3 batches or 3 loaves at a time usually. And when I can tell I'm not going to have enough sourdough or enough starter to make the next batch, that's when I feed him. And so I make the bread with what I've got, and then I feed him, and I leave him on the counter. Come out the next morning, stir it up, and put it back in the fridge. And that usually lasts us about a week to a week and a half. Sometimes if we're not eating as much bread as we normally do, it can go as much as 2 weeks between feedings. And we consistently, I don't know if I could tell a difference between our 2-week-long feeding loaf and a loaf I make the day after we feed. They all end up pretty much coming out the same. We are a great team. Thank you. Any other questions you guys have before we wrap this up tonight? There's 15 people on. A couple more seconds, minutes to ask your questions. I'm trying to think of what else. If you need a starter and you don't have one, we give away our freeze-dried starter on our website. We just ask you to cover shipping and handling. My kids do it as part of a homeschool project. They scoop the starter out, and it comes with an instruction card on how to rehydrate it. Plus, there's a video on our website, or not our website, but our YouTube that shows you how to rehydrate it as well.
Rehydrating.
Huh?
Rehydrating.
Isn't that what I said? Oh, you're rehydrating yourself? Thought you were correcting me. I agree, Tracy. I think our method is the best too. Thanks for that comment. Sounds to me like we got to go take care of a couple little kids.
And you also got to call Jason.
Okay. Okay.
You made bagels today? That is something we have yet to do. I want to do that.
Itching to do it. Really
I'm gonna try it with our dough. We have made so many different things with our dough. We made pizza last week with our dough. We made rolls and hamburger buns. We've made baguettes. We've made French bread.
We haven't yet.
No, we haven't tried hot dogs. And we try and do as many different things as we can with our one dough. We're gonna make cinnamon rolls with it, with the one dough recipe, so that we can point to our one 10-minute sourdough made easy thing and say you can make all of these different things with it. And so, yeah, we're trying to do as many things as we can. Now, that isn't to say that you couldn't make a different type of dough that might be better cinnamon rolls or better hamburger buns or whatever. But it is nice to have one go-to dough that you can use for all these different things. It made great pizza last week.
For example, there's been a couple of times where we've made our standard 3 loaf and we'll flip it on its head the next day when I'm forming and be like, oh, you know what? Let's make some rolls so we can do hamburgers tonight instead of making a loaf.
Right.
Which is
it's nice to be able to make the dough and then decide later what you're going to do with it. And you have so many different options of what you can do with the dough.
And I just got to give a shout out again to those brekkie rolls. We need to, I want to make those like twice a week because every time we make them, they're gone in 24 hours. And that's, how many did it make? 12?
A dozen? The brekkie buns?
Yeah, the brekkie buns.
Yes. Bridget says she's making sticky buns tomorrow, but added eggs to all of it. Yeah, last week on our thing, we showed you how to make brekkie buns where you roll out the dough and then you fill it with sausage, bacon, eggs, and cheese, and then wrap it up and put it in the bundt pan like we do our sticky buns. And we have now made those twice in the last week, and they're almost better the next day because it's so easy to just pop it out of a bag and throw it in the microwave, and you've got a nice little breakfast roll. It's fantastic. So it's one of our meal planning things that I think we're going to continue to do every single week. We'll have that as a breakfast that we make. We
should make it like Friday night to make it Saturday. I have them ready for Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's good on the way to church.
Yeah.
And Dad, you know what you should do again on Sunday when there's a noise king? You should make your homemade chili.
English muffins, yeah. We should try English muffins. You know. Bagels. Yep. We're going to do the bagel thing here pretty soon. We're also going to try, somebody left a comment. I forget the name. Somebody left a comment about a sandwich loaf. So I'm going to do a couple of different things. One, I'm going to try our dough shaped and baked in regular bread pans to see how it turns out as just a sandwich loaf bread pans, because we had a lot of people ask questions about whether or not you need a Dutch oven. And we've always cooked in Dutch ovens. We've done open bake for bread bowls and rolls and things like that. So I have no reason to believe that our bread wouldn't turn out okay with an open bake. But I do want to try regular bread pans with this dough. And then somebody did a very, very easy version of a sandwich loaf that had egg and can't remember what she had in the ingredients, but it is a little bit different than our recipe, egg and honey and oil, I think, to fluff it up or whatever. So I am going to try that recipe. And if it is as easy as the comment, made a very detailed recipe and process in the comments. And if it does turn out as good as it sounds, then that might end up being our easy sandwich loaf that we can do too. And she proofs it. I think she might even bulk ferment and proof right in the one pan. Like she makes it up and puts it in the pan and waits till it rises up above the pan and then bakes it. Like, wow, that's way easier than a lot of other sandwich loaves I've seen. So, all right. Any other questions? We've got a lot of comments going.
Chatting back and forth to each other saying how much they love it. That's so awesome.
Yep.
Makes me so happy.
There's nothing that I like more, I think, than getting up in the morning and having good positive comments, people having success with our method. It's makes it all worth it. All right, we'll wrap things up here and be back again, same time, same place next week for another Rogue Baker Roundtable call. Probably next month we will start limiting it to just challenge members, so people who are taking the Master Sourdough in 7 Days Guaranteed Challenge. But for now, where we've got just a little fledgling community growing, I like having the interaction a little bit more than it would be if it was just limited to the people who are in the challenge. So enjoy it while it lasts, and we will see you again next week. Thanks, everybody.
Showing Mr. Squishy Cheeks.
Sir Bubba Chunks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.